The spirit of adoption is the sense that you have in your heart that is calling you to adoption, whether it's an infant adoption, a toddler adoption, a child that's in foster care. You may be a grandparent who's raising a child. You may be a step-parent who wants to adopt a child. But it is generally the call in your heart to a child, and to be able to say to that child that I will never leave you or forsake you. We've had the great privilege over the last 27 years at the Center for Family Building to help you through the legal process to make that dream come true. I know there's a lot of fears about adoption, there's a lot of fears about costs, there's a lot of fears about process, but trust me, once this is in your heart, this desire is in your heart, we are absolutely confident that you will be successful in this process, and at the end you will say thank you for the assistance, and thank you for nudging us along when we didn't want to maybe take the next step. Adoption inside the Christian community tends to be seen as a legal process, one that costs, it's intrusive, there's home studies, but really there's a bigger calling on believers to adopt. It really is the essence of the Great Commission. It's taking other human beings into your life and loving them, never leaving them, never forsaking them. And sometimes there's an intense legal process that might go along with that. Sometimes it's much less intrusive than you might otherwise know. But we really believe at the Center for Family Building that until that gap is closed, that until you really see yourself adopted yourself as a believer, then you will be able to do it laterally, really this side of heaven. The adoption process, no matter who you are, no matter what your age, and no matter what type of adoption, the process of taking another human being into your family is a process that will sort of renovate your heart. It will awaken you really to how much crisis there is in the world. It will cause you, probably more so than anything that I've been involved with as a Christian, to become otherly in the truest sense of the world, or the truest sense of the word. So it gets you outside of yourself, and it really makes you have empathy for where, for instance, the birth mother of this child or the birth father has come from generationally, and therefore where this child is headed generationally unless you intervene. Some of the myths about adoption are that it's only for the infertile, it's only for the wealthy, and it's not just for the infertile. It's really a calling on all of our lives. Whether you're dealing with issues of fertility or infertility. The truth of it is that there's a world in crisis, and there are so many, not only children, but adults who are really orphaned themselves, who need family. And so we're seeing all ages of children or young adults or even adults being adopted into families, and it's just so much bigger than just infertility. One of the other myths too is that it is expensive. Adoption has had this reputation ever since I started practicing 27 years ago, and people typically start with the notion that we can't afford it. The truth of the matter is that the average adoption we see in our office is in the range of about $15,000. There are adoption tax credits that are available. If you adopt out of foster care, those are zero-cost adoptions. So the truth is that you can afford it. The truth is that it's not just for the infertile. The truth is that no matter what age you are, no matter what income bracket you are, we believe the Center for Family Building that you're called to adopt. As a believer, you're called to adopt or to be involved in that process with someone else at some level. That really the identity of the church needs to become that of adoption, not just of preaching. I started practicing in the area of adoption law in 1987 and went to work for a gentleman who was doing nothing but litigated adoptions, or adoptions that were in the legal process and were contested adoptions, as we say. And I mentored with him for about 5 years and ultimately took his practice over, and he was an extraordinary mentor. I had no idea that my own life, personal experience would begin to propel me to a new level of passion and a new level of just excitement about what it is we do.